I have a feeling that this is the start of a beautiful new friendship. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have something pretty exciting to share with you. I got my hands on the brand new LORAC Pro 3 palette. So, short backstory. I do not own any of the LORAC Pro palettes, but they have basically been on my wish list for the last like 3 years. Since I started vlogging, I've heard nothing but amazing things about the LORAC Pro palette range, but I never really felt justified in buying them because I had so many other similar palettes. But then when I saw that this was coming out, I just was like, you know what? It is time. It is time for me to finally have the thing that I want most in the makeup world. So this palette actually doesn't launch for another couple of weeks. I think it launches sometime toward the end of June. I will put the date for you guys down below in the description box. But ULTA had a platinum perk that gave early access to any platinum member for 24 hours. So as you can see, I jumped right on that. So I literally just got this palette yesterday. I have not swatched it at all. It is pristine and beautiful. Look at this. There's just something about brand new, like untouched makeup that's just like delicious. It's amazing. So this is what the palette looks like. As you can see, it is a collection of warm toned neutrals, and like every other LORAC Pro palette, it has a row on top of all matte shades and then a row of shimmers. And that's one of the things I really love the most about the LORAC Pro series, is that there is a nice even combination of both types of finishes. I feel like so many palettes, the Urban Decay ones, especially the Naked series, have a lot of shimmery colors in them. And while I am all about getting my glow on, I feel like for blending and for transitions, matte shadows work much better. And I hate having to like reach for 3 different palettes every time I do my eyeshadow. And I feel like something like this, you can create a ton of looks just using this palette all by itself without any need for additional shades. So I thought what might be fun would be for me to swatch these for you guys and show you all the different colors, and then I'm going to do a little first impression. As you can see, I'm not wearing any eyeshadow on my eyes today, so I thought I would try these out for you guys on camera so we can play with them together and see how they perform on your eyes. So the first shade here on the left is called Blanc. So this is a really soft yellow toned buttery highlight shade. These feel, I'm just gonna say, like ridiculous. So creamy, I can't even. Oh yeah, this is swatching really nicely. So this would be a really great brow bone highlight shade, I think, or to highlight the inner corner of the eye if you wanted something that didn't have a sparkle. So the next shade in here is called Canvas, and this is just like a nice matte nude. This to me would be a great lid color because this is basically the same color as my skin. So it's more just to be a transition for other shades. And I think this is pretty pigmented. It just doesn't show up as much on my skin because it's basically like the same color as my skin. This next shade is Cool Taupe, which is basically exactly as it sounds. It is a cool, stony, grayish, beigey brown color. This would be a really great transition color in the crease. Then next we have Pink Nude, and this is another like good lid transition color because it's got a certain amount of lightness and brightness to it. Oh, this is really pigmented. This is really, really nice. Next we have Clay. This would be another really nice transition in the crease shade. This is more warm toned. It's got like an almost terracotta-y nude feel to it. And this would pair really well with the Pink Nude. Like you could easily use this on the lid and this in your crease together. So next is the shade Terracotta, and this is a more like mustardy yellow undertoned brown shade. Another really nice crease transition. Then next we have Dark Brown, which is a deep, cool toned chocolatey brown shade. This would be really great to smoke things out, or you could even use it as like an eyeliner. And then last is Jet Black, which is just a nice matte deep black shadow. These are always great for smoky eye looks, or if you want to set down a gel eyeliner, it's really nice to do that with a black powder eyeshadow. If you have a problem with your eyeliner smudging and fading, you should try setting it down with a powder and you might notice a huge difference. So immediately my first impression on the matte shadows in this palette is that they are amazing in quality. They are so buttery, it's unreal. Like just to feel them, they feel glorious. Like they just feel so smooth, and they're really pigmented and really even in the way that they're pigmented. Just watching them with my fingers, it's just like with one swipe, they are intensely pigmented, they blend out really beautifully, and I think these are going to work so nicely on the eyes. All right, so now let's swatch the shimmery shades. So first in here is the shade Light Gold, and this is just a warm toned champagne shade. This would be a beautiful inner corner highlight. So next is Almond Pearl, and this is more of a cool toned shimmery highlight. They're very similar on the skin, the Light Gold and the Almond Pearl when they're next to each other, but the Almond Pearl is just a little bit deeper and a little bit cooler in tone, almost looks a little bit pink on the skin. Then next we have Medallion, and this is a really beautiful sort of almost like coppery gold. I don't even know how to describe this shade. This looks like it's going to be really like almost metallic in finish. Let's see. So this one feels a little bit chunkier to me. It's got a little bit more actual glitter and it's a little bit less pigmented. I don't know if this is just the shade or if it's just my palette. It feels a little bit different in texture than the other shadows, so that's a little bit weird to me. I don't know how I feel about that one, but the shade looks like it would be lovely. Then we have Light Pewter, which is sort of a silvery taupe shimmery shade. This is beautiful. Oh man, gorgeous color. This would be perfect all over the lid to add like just a really intense sparkle. Then we have Amethyst, which is like a sort of purpley cranberry shade. I love these kind of colors. I think that they're so fun and they make for a really interesting smoky eye if you want something that's a little bit of an alternative to just your traditional grays and blacks. That is crazy pigmented, and it has like a sort of satiny shimmer to it. It's not like intensely sparkly, but it has just like a little bit of sheen. Then there is Rose Bronze, and this is sort of like a silvery rose gold shade. It's a little less warm, it's a little bit more on the cool tone side. This one feels like butter. Oh yeah, beautiful. Then you have Dark Mocha, which is a shimmery, deep bronzy brown color. This one feels a little bit chunky also, but this one is much smoother than Medallion was, and it has more of a glitter to it. And then last we have Truffle, which is a deep sort of smoky gray shade, perfect for your smoky eye looks. And this one comes out less intense than the charcoaly jet black shade. So this one would be really great for sort of transitioning and smoking things out for you. I feel like I just made an absolute mess of this palette, which is such a bummer. These are the things we do in the name of beauty blogging. So the shimmery shades in this palette are equally beautiful quality-wise. They are really buttery and creamy, very silky, very blendable, really pigmented. I think they're going to be a dream to work with. I cannot wait to put these on my eyes. Just as an overall, I feel like the color selection in this is really nice. You have a lot of nice transitional shades, you have some deep shades you could use as liners or to smoke things out, and you have some nice things for highlighting, so I think that they really covered all of your bases. They have warm tones, they have cool tones, they have a lot of colors that are really complementary with each other, and I love that there is an equal number of mattes and shimmers, as I said before. So I think overall, in terms of balance and blendability, workability, you can do daytime looks, nighttime looks, a ton of things with this palette. I think of all the LORAC Pro palettes, so far, color-wise, this one is my favorite, which is also part of the reason why I wanted to get it over the other two. Just as in terms of the palette in and of itself, it's really very sleek, super, super thin, so this is amazing to travel with. On the downside, the packaging is sort of cardboard material. It's actually really soft. The finish on it feels really nice, like it feels like a really quality cardboard, but I feel like this is not the most durable packaging. And with it being a nude shade, well, I think it's pretty. I think this is going to get dirty really easily, which is a bummer. You also do get a nice sized mirror in here, and it does not come with any kind of a brush. Now, I personally prefer my palettes to not have a brush because I'd rather use the ones that I have, and I feel like it takes up excess space unnecessarily. So I'm totally okay with this not having any kind of a brush that comes with it. And I think the mirror is very workable, although it's a little bit more skinny than it is tall. Like you can't see your whole face, but if you're just doing your eyes, I think you have enough room to work with this mirror. So this palette retails for $44, which I think is a very fair price considering the number of shadows you get in here, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2 is 16. I can do math. So you get 16 shades in here. The pans are not as big as I think they are in the Urban Decay Naked palettes, but truthfully, how often do you really go through an entire pan in an eyeshadow palette? Like, for real, let's be serious. And I think that just variety-wise and quality-wise, you're definitely getting your money's worth, and I think this is less expensive than the Urban Decay palettes by maybe $5 or $6, maybe more than that actually. I think they're like 52, maybe 54, something like that. So value-wise, I think you get serious bang for your buck with this palette. And it also comes with a little mini size of the LORAC Behind the Scenes Eye Primer, so I think that's pretty neat. You get this kind of is, instead of a brush, I think I'd almost rather get the primer. For me, that's more useful. So since I am going out for the evening, and I feel like I look crazy right now with my eyebrows being like super dark and having nothing on my eyes, let's try this palette out on my eyes and see how it goes. So I'm gonna start out by priming, and I'm gonna use this primer. And it looks like it's sort of creamy, nudie shade. It's not the kind of primer that's going to cover up any lines or dark circles. It's just gonna kind of be translucent and blend into your skin. It reminds me in texture a lot of the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Feels very, very similar to that. So many options. What do I want to do? Alright, so I'm gonna go maybe for like something slightly more pinky, rosy tone, because that's sort of my jam. So I'm gonna start by taking Pink Nude, and I'm going to use a flat brush to just pat this all over the lid. And I'm gonna bring it right up to the edge of the crease. And I'm gonna use sort of an angled brush to apply the shade Clay right into my crease. And I like that these kind of brushes give me a little bit more control with the color, and then I can blend it out with a bigger, fluffier brush. Oh, yeah. These are just so nice to work with. The pigmentation is so good. So then I'm also going to take clay, and I'm just going to kind of bring it, because this brush has a nice like angle to it, and I can kind of still keep it pretty precise. I'm going to just blend it a little bit along the lower lash line just to kind of pull things together. Shall we amp up the glitter factor? I feel like this is a question that the answer is always yes. So I think I'm going to take Rose Bronze, and I'm going to apply this to the lid just to add a bit of sparkle, and I'm going to just pat this on kind of in the outer third. So I'm going to take this also on the inner third, but I'm going to kind of leave the middle part blank. Then I'm going to take Almond Pearl, and I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to dab this right into the center of the lid. I can go back and just sort of blend with my brush the edges here a little bit. And then just to deepen things up a little bit, for a little bit of drama, I'm going to take Dark Mocha on this bullet brush, and I'm just going to pat this onto the very outer corner and the very inner corner of the eye. And then I think what I want to do is take some of this same Dark Mocha shade, and I'm going to use a little eyeliner brush to apply this along the lower lash line. So as I'm working with the brush, I feel like these shadows do have a bit of fallout from the pans. They are really soft, so they do kind of kick up a lot of powder, just as a thing to be aware of. But other than that, I feel like these went on really, really nicely. I'd like to play with them with a setting spray, like try them wet and see if that intensifies the shine, especially with the shimmery shades in the bottom of the palette. I feel like that would really pump up the intensity on this eye look. But just from a first impression standpoint, I feel like these blended really nicely and applied really evenly, and I'm digging it so far. So I'm just gonna take a crease brush and just sort of gently fluff out this top edge here. And then I'm going to clean it off, and I'm going to go in with Blanc, and I'm just going to use this to highlight the brow bone. So to finish things off, I'm going to use another LORAC product. This is their Front of the Line Pro eyeliner, and this is one of my favorite liquid eyeliner pens ever. It is super black and super easy to work with because it has a brush tip, kind of like the Kat Von D tattoo liner, but it's really, really flexible, and I find it just so easy to work with. So I'm going to just go in. Kind of creating like just a baby wing, nothing too crazy. And then I'll finish things off with a couple coats of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And this is the finished look. I think that it came out really nice. I really love these tones and these shades, and I felt like they were really easy to work with, kind of as I expected, with the texture being so buttery. I knew they were going to blend out well. But long story short, I love this palette. I cannot wait to play with it more, create some more looks. If you guys would like to see another tutorial using this palette, maybe doing like another kind of smoky eye or something for daytime, let me know what you guys would like to see and I will create that for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions video. The LORAC Pro Palette will be coming to stores near you in the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes out for it. If you have any other questions about the palette, definitely let me know. And I will be doing a full review on my blog with pictures and pictures of swatches and things like that as well if you want to use it for a reference. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate your support, and if you are new, I would love it if you subscribe. That way you will get updated whenever I post new content and you won't miss out on any of my future videos. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.